Here's how you can take your drone footage from this to this. Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make your drone footage look more smooth, more cinematic, and overall just how to take your drone footage to the next level. I've been flying drones for about 1.5 years now, so I'm telling you these tips from personal experience. These tips work on just about any drone, so you can take these tips and use them next time you fly. I'm using my Mini 3 Pro for these tips, but as I said, will work on just about any drone. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, there might be some stuff in here that can help you out. The first tip I have is to know your drone. It might sound kind of strange, but it can be extremely important to get the cinematic footage you want. If you're a new drone pilot, or have just got yourself a new drone, before you try and get cinematic shots or go fly in epic locations, learn everything you can about your drone. Learn its limits, its capabilities, and most importantly, learn how to fly it. Learn all your stick movements and what they do, and familiarize yourself with your drone's setting and menu so you can easily set different camera or other settings when you go on your location. The worst thing you can do for cinematic drone shots is getting on location and not knowing how to fly your drone properly. The next tip is to always try to shoot at the right time of day. This is really important for cinematic videos. Try to avoid shooting during midday, early afternoon, and late morning. The lighting will just be too bright and flat and will create harsh highlights and shadows. And it will also wash out all of your colours and your scenery. The best time to shoot is at sunrise and sunset. Sunrise and sunset are perfect because they create long, soft shadows that look very cinematic, and it is easier to expose in conditions like these. Sunset and sunrise also creates beautiful colours in the sky. This is a vital tip to get cinematic footage. When flying your drone to get footage, it is absolutely crucial to use long, smooth movements with no sudden jerks or movement of the sticks. When the viewer sees a drone shot that is inconsistent and jerky, it discourages them from finishing the rest of the video, and on top of that, it makes your footage just look bad and not cinematic. You should always plan and think out your next drone shot, and when it's time to do it in one consistent movement. When drone shots have many sudden jerky movement, it looks very unprofessional and completely takes away the cinematic factor. It is really easy to do this. Simply start your movement, and once you're moving in a way that you like, simply do not move the sticks at all. This will result in a long, smooth shot. Now, if you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. These videos take a lot of effort to make, and I'd really appreciate it, and it really helps out the channel. Anyways, back to the video. Shoot in dCinelike. dCinelike can immensely help with your footage. dCinelike is a flat color profile that allows for more detail to be stored in the shadows, highlights, and colors. Once color graded, it can create gorgeous colors and cinematic shots. Most drones do have this option, although some lower end drones might not, so you might have to check that in settings. In some drones it may be labeled as D-Log or D-Log-M. They do have slight differences, but it's mostly the same. Having more flexibility with editing and getting colors is crucial for cinematic shots. If your footage has minimal color or depth, it may look unappealing to the viewer, drawing them away. I would do some research before shooting in dCinelike though, as some drones and some cameras require you to over or underexpose your shot to gain correct exposure once edited. Having your white balance correct when shooting cinematic drone footage is really important. Your white balance controls the temperature of the image. Nailing your white balance also allows you to have extremely cinematic footage that looks really nice. When your white balance is not set correctly, your footage may be too warm and orange, or it could be too cold and look really blue or dim. You want your white balance perfect for that beautiful cinematic look. You can either use auto white balance and let the drone decide what's best for the scenario, or you can do what I usually prefer and manually set it. It's best to set the white balance around 5100K to 6000K range for best results. And the last tip that I have is to always edit and color grade your footage. Now when I say color grade, I don't mean you have to do some crazy editing in Premiere Pro that takes hours using the lumetri scopes. Even if you just do some simple changes to the exposure, highlights or shadows, it can make a huge difference. or even bumping your saturation just a little bit can make your image pop. You can also add LUTs and presets to your footage to quickly change it. The auto button in Premiere Pro is also really helpful if you don't really know what you're doing. With just a click of a button, you could easily improve your shot. This tip isn't really as important as some others unless you're shooting in D-Cine-like. When shooting in D-Cine-like, you must color grade your footage, otherwise it will come out flat, dull and unappealing. This can be as simple as adding a conversion LUT or doing it manually. Color grading truly levels up your footage and makes it just that much more cinematic. Right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found something, at least one thing that was useful, that will help you get your drone shots to look more cinematic and just pop. Next time you fly, make sure to remember these tips. If you have any other tips and tricks, be sure to leave them in the comments for me or any other people. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and get out there and do some flying. I'll see you in the next one.